Diablo 2 is a special game, and one of those rare gems that everyone seems to remember fondly. It made gamers around the world horny.
Drop it.
Before there was a jail for that kind of thing, and it made my parents mad because Satan was in it. It was an awesome game, and I spent hours of my first teenage years having the time of my life, knee-deep in demon guts. Does it hold up, though? I see you, Dirty Trout, and your very interesting profile picture. This one's for you. Aww. You bet your bippy this game holds up. Like all Blizzard games back in the day, Diablo 2 was released with an incredible level of polish, and it shows. Everything gives you some kind of feedback. Character movement is crisp and snappy. You attack and cast where you click, and the action manages to feel punchy while also being hard enough to provide a genuine challenge on the harder difficulties. The only real complaint I had was that the advent of high definition made it so that your choices for playing this are between a small window and some crazy, chunky, overly zoomed full screen. Not that it matters, since I play my games in a window anyway, because I'm a deviant. I can make bad jokes about you too, look.
Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? I was... Look again.
You live in New York City too, you degenerate. I can't believe the amount of respect you have for Domino's Pizza. The first thing to do when you jump into the game is figure out what kind of character best suits your tastes. Do you want to be an NFL tailgater? Maybe a big titty goth ninja, or a Pokemon master. You can even play an edgelord who summons his own party, because his hot takes on gun ownership and fedoras make it hard to find one.
What a pity. I was beginning to enjoy the darkness. All who oppose me, beware. Ah, the familiar scent of death.
Ooh, be careful not to cut yourself on all that edge. What really surprised me when I was working my way back through the game, though, was how many of the systems we take for granted today got pioneered here. You know how every game nowadays with half a loot system seems to have that white, green, blue, purple, orange coloring for classifying how good loot is? That idea started here, and you can see why the colors changed. What the hell is this? What about skill trees that change how you play? Guess where those started? They might be annoying and overused now, but back in the day when they actually meant something, you could have the same character play in drastically different ways depending on which skills you pick. I don't really buy the concept of an ageless game, but I don't think you'd find many that get closer to that than Diablo 2. The ideas put out here set the bar for how games with RPG mechanics play, and we know this because we're still seeing them now, 20 years later. Now the next time you hear someone on IGN complaining about stuff like skill trees, you'll know why. It's a tired concept, and often misused at that. If you're curious about whether it's worth your time to play Diablo 2 now, I'd say yes for two reasons. First, it's a short game and you can beat it in a weekend, maybe two if you want to see all the different difficulty levels. Second, and more importantly, is that I'd put this game right up there in the pantheon of greats in terms of what it actually achieved. Mario 64 raised the bar for what a platformer should be, Metal Gear Solid changed the landscape of storytelling through games, and Diablo 2 legitimized the action RPG as a genre while pioneering systems we still use today. Just like with a family tree, you can look at a ton of modern games, from Borderlands to Destiny to gacha games you only installed so you have something to do while you poop, and draw a common ancestor here. The cool thing about video games, though, is that you don't get to just see what it was like for your grandpa, you get to experience the game as Grandpa did. So go out there and be your own grandpa. Thanks for watching.